Hi everyone, my name is Alana Atkinson and I'm an account manager with Amazon Web Services with AWS. I'm also a volunteer and a committee member of WiTWA, Women in Tech WA. As part of my role at AWS, I get to work with really cool kinds of companies, so gaming companies, financial services companies, construction companies, and lots of different software and digital companies as well. All types of companies that are working to change the world and the way that we work. The roles that I get to deal with, the different types of people that I get to work with are executives, so chief executive officers, chief financial officers, chief marketing officers, the chief information officer, etc. As well as working with product managers and working with developers. So a really range of very smart, intelligent, creative people that are working across all kinds of areas and cool things. So my role is really varied. So, I get to really see and work with from a strategic perspective with the companies and customers that I work with. So really understanding what their business strategies are and how they're trying to, be more competitive or help their customers, as well as, really working backwards from that and how that technology can apply to their roles and enable their companies to be more competitive or to add that value to their customers or to bring new products to market as well. So it's really interesting using, both that tech side and that business side and meshing those together for really great outcomes for their customers. So the way that I got into tech, I actually went to university and I started a Bachelor of Science in Health Promotion. And as I was doing it, it was really interesting, but I just realized it wasn't really what I wanted to do with my life. So I thought, look, I'm just going to take a break. I'll go get a job and figure out what I want to do. So I did a course in business college and started off with an IT recruitment company. Started off as a receptionist and worked my way into an IT recruitment role. And I loved working in that area. I learned so much about tech. I ended up, after I'd been there about 5 years or so, I thought, look, I'm working in recruitment. I've had one main full-time role. So I want to get out there and find out what else is around. I went into another role, but outside of tech. And I really did miss that technology space. I love the variety, how it's always evolving. So I was kind of hooked from there, really. And across my career, I've had breaks and had children as well. I've had 2 children. So I guess advice as well is I've got a few things I want to pass on from an advice perspective, but definitely one is using Sheryl Sandberg's words is to lean in. The more that you do lean in and go for what you want, that gives you more options when you decide whatever it is that you want. So if you do want to have children, or if you do have aged parents to look after, or if you want to travel the world, or whatever it is, that if you want to have a side gig or start a business, the more that you do take those opportunities that present to yourself and give yourself more skills and experience, the more options you will get. So definitely one of my number one advice is to grab those opportunities, lean in, because it will provide you with more choice. Second advice that I'd really like to give is I think it's really important to who you surround yourself with. So as much as possible, surround yourself with people that see the value in you and that have those positive expectations, high expectations for you, but positive ones. So the more that you're around people that see that you can do more and be more in a good way, not in a pressured way, that means that you'll actually raise the bar on yourself and you'll start to do things more than you think you could. An example of that is last year I actually just recently sat and passed my AWS Solutions Architect Associate class. Certification, I should say. And I wouldn't have done that without the positive expectations of my colleagues. That really encouraged me to do that. And I knew a lot of it, but I definitely had to sit and do quite a bit of study as well. And I'm really proud that I did that and passed that. But again, without, those high expectations of my colleagues that thought and believed in me to do that, I wouldn't have done that. So I really want to encourage you to do that because there's so much more that you're capable of than you realize. So yeah, that's some advice as well. And just circling back into tech is that there's so much more in tech than you realize. Our world is quite small, and the more that we kind of be curious and find out what other options that are available, you'll find that there's so much more that you could do, and it's continually evolving. So roles that you may, in year 9 or 10 right now that are available right now, what you might end up doing, those roles aren't even available right now. So just continue to be curious, be open, and follow your passions. So yeah, thank you for your time. Cheers.